So now we will try to block an ICMP on R2, and let's see what is the reply we get. So I'm going to apply a simple access list. Access list. I'm going to apply an access list on R2 because I'll get an echo request. For that, I'm not going to send an echo reply back. IP access list extended. I'm going to give a name ICMP block. Enter. Deny ICMP any. I'm going to do for echo reply and try. So it is telling that for any source, any destination, the echo reply is denied. And I'm going to permit IP any. That is important to allow other traffic. So I'm going to block only the ICMP. So now I want to create an access group, IP access group. Okay, I think is it okay, interface GI 0 slash. Let me apply on this actual interface. Show IP interface brief. Let me try with loopback first interface. Loopback 8 IP access group and the access list name ICMP block. So do it for an the packet is coming in from R1, so I'm going to reply back. So let me do it an outbound and see. Let's try both. Show run interface loopback 0. The loopback 8, I'm going to block the ICMP reply. So applied here. My access list is IP access list. ICMP block. Let's see, now I'm going to this VPC 10002. I'm going to ping, get a reply. If I go to my R2 and if I do show IP access list, I don't see any hit counts here. Let me try doing for an inbound. IP access list ICMP block. ICMP block. Deny ICMP. So I'm just going to try now only with the inbound and outbound. So let me try with inbound now. Sorry, I'm going to the interface the loopback 8 IP access group ICMP block outbound. I'm going to change this inbound. Remove the outbound. Show run interface loopback 8. Go into the VPC ping, can ping it. If I see show IP access list, I don't see any hits again. So I'm going to do just a block on ICMP. Let's see what happens. IP access list. Extended ICMP block. No 10. Deny ICMP echo reply. I'm going to remove this and I'm going to apply for the whole ICMP, not echo reply for all the ICMP packets. ICMP any. I'm applying the correct interface. Going to the R2. I'm going to R1 back. First, let me try to ping from here. Ping 888. Can still ping it. Strange. My going to R2. Going to interface loopback 0. Sorry, loopback 8. So I applied an inbound and my access list says show IP access list CMP block. So I didn't see any hits. It's fine, but the packet is coming to us and we are replying back. But we denied ICMP any. How this is routed back, I think. Let's try interface loopback 8. So I want to check if my access list is working. So I'm going to back 8. IP access list extended ICMP block. I'm going to deny anything to check my ACL is working or not. So I'm going to remove this permit statement from my ACL. The access list extended. I'm blocking everything, all the traffic. I'm going to R1, going to ping, till I can ping it. What is wrong with this? Okay. I never tried applying the loopback. Okay. Got you. So now I'm going to apply the same access policy to the egress interface, right? Show run interface, loopback 8. So I removed this access list from the loopback interface, right? I'm going to the actual physical interface. Configure interface GI 0/0 IP access group ICMP block. Block, let me do an inbound. So I'm going to block all the traffic to see my ECL is working now. So it says destination unreachable message. U stands for destination unreachable message. Can do the capture as well to see that ICMP codes. Capture GI 0/1. Right click, capture GI 0/1. I do a ping. Stop this. If somebody is blocking with an ACL statement or something with a policy in the firewall, you should see something like code 13 communication administratively filtered. So it is not working on the loopback interface. So try on the actual physical interface. So if I go back to the slides, there should be an ICMP code 13. I think I didn't capture this 13 here. So when you see this, especially focus more on the type, yeah, instead of code. Whenever you see the communication administratively filtered, it means that some policy is blocking your ICMP. So for all my request, I get the destination unreachable message here. So simultaneously also you can use your IP identification number to see your packets. So when you look at this, all your ICMP packets, right, being blocked. So you get an destination unreachable, communication administratively down. Here, you should look for this. When you open your ICMP packet, you can see the code 13 communication administratively filtered. But when you compare your TTL along with that, if I go to my TTL, apply as a column, let's make it a little bigger. Yeah, we'll discuss deep here. So here, you can see still my TTL coming back, right? So always you have to check your destinations here. What is the reply you get from ICMP code, the TTL, 254. It says it's 255 and 254. So it's just one hop away from me. Some modification is happening in TTL. So destination unreachable and it says communication administratively down. So what if I remove an ACL, if the host is down, what is the response I should see there? Going to R2. So I'm manually going to shut down this interface, loopback 8, shut down. If I try to ping, from the VPC, let's try to ping it. Okay, so this ACL is still taking in effect because we have applied in this GI 0/0, right? One second, let me see this. Let me do a capture again. So I'm going to VPC 10.0.0.2. I'm going to ping again. Still the ICMP messages the ACL is taking in effect, even though the host is down. So if I go to R2, if I ping this, 8.8.8, I can't ping it. This is local to this R2, I can ping it. But when from here, before going to my actual loopback interface, it gets effect here. I mean, we have this deny statement on GI0/0. Even the packet is not routed there. Right away, it blocks here for all your ICMP packets because we applied here. It is right before your loopback interface. So now let's going to remove an ACL and see what is the actual response if the host is down. Show run interface GI0/0. No IP access group. Sorry. I will go to the interface to remove an ACL from it. GA0/0. No IP access group. ICMP block in. Check again. Show run interface GA0/0. There is no ACL. Show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. This is administratively down. I'm going to the VPC. Stop this capture. Stop all the captures and have only one capture at a time. So I'm going to do here capture R1 GI0/0. So I'm running the capture going back to the VPC 10.0.0.2. I'm going to ping. So now it says from earlier it was code 13, communication administratively down because of an ACL. Now it is telling that destination host unreachable. It is type 3. See, this is a type 3 code 13 that is for an ACL block. ICMP type 3 code 1 destination unreachable. See, host unreachable. So the packet is going out. We have a routing, right? But the destination is unreachable. The host is unreachable. Specific problem with the host. So now I'm going to R1 again. This is all U stands for host unreachable. Yeah, we'll come back to the Q&A deep. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Whatever your requirements and your expectation, we'll do that. Sure. So now, what is that? Let's try to do a false route on R1. Let's see what is the message we get. Show run section route. So I am telling I want to reach 888 and I want to go to 430.0.0.2. Okay, what if I do something like this? IP route all 8. And I have one more route, a false route, false next hop. Example 3000.10. Somebody did it for, you know, they made a mistake with the route, the wrong route statement here. IP route. So 3010. For same destination, I got two different next hops. I'm going to VPC 10. I'm going to ping it. It says timeout. I think I have to do a capture again. The same interface, router interface GA0/1. So the live packet capture is in progress, so it's running now. So let me do the ping again. So the problem is, if I go to R1, see, the first thing is I should get an ARP resolution here. So immediately it is going to the next hop. It is trying to figure out where is the 300010. It is sending an ARP request, but I didn't get an ARP reply back. So when you're troubleshooting with the problem, something like this, if you ping from the PC and if you're troubleshooting from your router, if you do that, immediately you should see, okay, what is this 30010, right? So you can do show run section because we don't know where this 30010 is, right? So, but we didn't get an ARP response for it. So you can do section 30010. So you can see this. This is a wrong next hop. And even my ARP resolution is not happening here. First, before routing, first thing is I should know the destination MAC address. I know the destination IP, but I want to know the destination MAC address where how to reach it. But it doesn't exist, right? It's not turned on. The device is not available. So if something is happening, something like this, when you have a problem from a host reaching to a destination, you can also check from a router. You ping it and take a capture on the device where your gateway is and your external routes. You have configured your external routes on an edge device. Go to the edge device. It's based on your environment. You have to do it. And first thing is you should see your ARP reply back for it if you have a wrong route. Yeah, Deep, you have a lot of questions now. So let me again give an unmute permission now. Yeah, Deep, you had a lot of questions. What is that?
No, no, actually, see, thing
1 minute.
is like,
Okay, even we block. Okay, it's a lot more. Okay, you can tell me better. Yeah.
no, thing is like we can see like still see if there is a attacker. Usually we block like 13, 14
Mm-hmm.
just to ensure like we see ICMP is also a protocol where we can gather lot of information if someone is attacking or if some attacker is there, like they can get
Mm-hmm.
a lot of information. To block that as well, we usually block like type 13 and 14. But one
Mm-hmm.
thing, can you like since you already having the access list, can you just type that no IP unreachable command and see
Mm-hmm.
like what error code you are getting?
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely we'll try that. We'll go to router show IP access list. Sorry, I'm on R2, right? Show IP access list. Configure interface GI 0/0 IP access group.
No, without enter the interface, no IP unreachable. With the with this as well. Okay, you haven't applied, is it?
Yeah, no, I didn't apply any ECU.
Okay, then you can apply that access list as well.
Access group is something you have to manually type it. Access group, you block in. Yeah.
It's fine. And can you correct the route as well? I believe route is still,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
then we can try to ping.
I think I have two routes. I can remove this. Oh, ping it. 888.
From the VPC, can you try like that? There we will
Mm,
see the code.
code, yeah. Now first, let me see the reachability ping 888. Yeah, here we don't see any outputs here. It's just timeout. Let's see in Wireshark. Do we see anything for my ICMP request? Request no response, and the code is type 8.
Because now it is not giving any information now.
Yeah,
Like there
yeah,
is no reply.
yeah. No response
That
being
means like attacker will not gather any information from our system.
so it means that what is that? IP? What is the command? Is it
No
IP?
IP unreachables.
Okay. I'm checking the wrong port. Yeah, wrong device. Okay. Oh, IP unreachables. Okay.
Is the do backup for the IP it was shut down for some time?
Uh, yeah, I think we did. Yep. Who's that? Is it Barchender?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you're listening carefully then. Cool. Why it's still up, down? Interface loopback gate shut. Okay. Same timeout. Let's do a cap. Okay, I think it's running the capture. Yeah. But what is any difference? But okay, we don't get any ICMP response back. But I think we applied an ACL for it, right? Show API, show run interface GI0/0 IP access list. So 45 matches. Okay, let's try going to R2. 48 matches. This is something we are not getting reply because of an ACL. Let's try removing the ACL and see only this IP reachable, IP unreachable command is doing something here.
No, IP unreachable will only work once ACL will be applied. So earlier, we were that in this interface was responding to the ICMP packet like this is unreachable, like it was sending the code 13, 14,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So now, see, like that also we are passing some of the information to the remote. Still to
Mm-hmm.
block that as well,
Okay,
then like this command, no IP unreachable.
got it. Okay, so now let's say in VPC and I do ping just a timeout. If I try to remove the unreachable messages, IP unreachables, what happens? What is the difference in the output? It's GA0/0. Okay, I removed it. Yeah, he gets this communication, yeah. With unreachables to R2, R2, R2. I'm on R2 going to J0/0. Even not giving that information. Okay. No IP unreachables. Going to VPC again, do it. Even I don't get this information now. Yes. Cool. So any questions related to this topology? What we tried for ICMP blocks and messages? No? Okay. Now let's go to the proxy ACL. Is that proxy ARP? Cretaceous ARP and proxy ARP. Let's see both ARPs. So now for proxy ARP, let me tell you this. Sometimes mostly in routers it happens like this. Example, if you got your layer 3 switch, you got your layer 3 switch, and you got two SVIs. Let's take simple example like VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, and VLAN 40. This is okay. There is some PCs connected on VLAN 10. This is on VLAN 10. So there's an SVI. This is 10.0.0.1. And here you got one more subnet that is 10.0.10.1. This is /24, and this is also /24. So in the third octet, there is a change. So they both are in a different network now. This is on PC. This PC is on VLAN 10, and you got one more PC. This is on VLAN 20. So this is VLAN 20, and this is VLAN 10, right? So if I want to send a packet from this PC 1 to PC 2, both are in a different subnet, right? So I'm going to assign an IP address, something 10.0.0.2/24. My gateway would be 10.0.0.1. For this PC, let me take an IP address 10.0.10.5/24, and my gateway would be 10.0.10.1. This guy. So this is on VLAN 20. VLAN 20, and this is on VLAN 10. So if I want to send a packet from my PC to, I'm trying to talk to 10.0.0.5 from 10.0.0.2. So what happens, we know that in the ARP, you get a response back from your gateway. Apparently, then it's going to check its routing table, and it's going to do an ARP again to the destination. But if a computer is configured with a wrong network, example, this is on VLAN 10, right? This is on VLAN 10. But what if I configure this port is on VLAN 10, and if I configure something with an IP address of 20. Then it becomes 10.00. So I'll get a new IP here, right? So even though the PC is on VLAN 10, now I have assigned an IP address. The ports are same. There is no configuration changes on the switch level. Only on the PC, I'm going to assign an IP 10.0.0.2/24, but I'm going to give a gateway as 10.0.10.1. But still, this layer 3 switch is going to send an ARP reply back for this, even though it is not the proper gateway for this subnet. That's something we can see in the scenarios. We will apply the same logics there, and we'll see what is the output we get. The proxy ARP is generally even though if I am not the proper gateway to this particular network, but still I will respond back for my ARP. If somebody is doing an ARP request, even though the ARP request is coming from a different subnet, but still the gateway will respond back with the ARP reply. So that is a feature that's called as a proxy ARP, even though I'm not the actual gateway for it. So it's a proxy. I am going to send a reply back on behalf of a different gateway. So some people they'll disable this proxy ARP. But how do we find that in Wireshark, right? So for that, let me go to the configuration of R2. So let me remove all this ACLs. Don't want to do any confusions with the ACL here, blocking GI0/0 config interface GI0/0. No IP access group. ICMP block in. Let it be the ACL, let it be there. So now I'm going to this device, right? R1. Show IP ARP. Show run section route. So I have a route statement for 8.8.8. It's on 30.0.0.2. I'm not going to disturb that. So I'm good. I have two loopback interface here. If you see show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. One we created for 8.8, and I'm going to create one more loopback for testing interface loopback 0. I'm going to assign an IP address 1.1.1 or 255. Show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. So the interface is up, going to this router. So I'm going to ping 1.1.1, 1. I can ping it. If I give show IP ARP, I don't see any ARP entry for 1.1.1 because it's not directly connected, right? This is in a different broadcast domain. So this router is aware of the T network because it is directly connected. It is aware of 10 network. So this router should actually maintain or maybe should have the ARP table only for the connected subnets, directly connected subnets, right? Because it knows all this because this is all configured locally on this router. But now, if I go to show run section route, there is a route for 1.1.1. So I'm going to remove this route. Remove this. It use the same route with a different next hop. So instead of this, what I'm telling is I'm going to do the same route, but instead of giving a next hop address, I'm giving the egress interface on R1. So I'm going to tell this is for GI0/1. Once I do that, if I give show IP route, now it is telling that 1.1 is directly connected, but it is not directly connected. So always, that's why they recommend if when you do a point-to-point routing, right, when you're doing a static route, You should always use your next hop, not the leaving interface, egress interface. So if I give show IP ARP, so it is not directly connected, but still I can see this 1.1.1, and this is the IP address of it. When I try to ping 1.1.1, I can ping it. If I go to R2, if I give show IP ARP, I don't see this ARP entry here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to R2, configure interface GI 0/0, no IP proxy ARP. Interface GI 0/0, shut, no shut. So I'm going to flush all my ARP table, give show IP ARP, going back to R1. First, I have to clear my ARP table, right? So interface GI 0/1, shut, no shut, show IP ARP. Sometimes this happens, yeah. So I'm going to interface GI 0/1, no IP address. You can give an IP address 30.0.0.1, 255.255.255.0, no shut. So now it says ARP incomplete, right? So if I try to ping it, I can't ping it. Show run section route. I have a route, but I am telling that it should be the leaving interface. On R2, I give show IP ARP. Show run, show IP interface brief, load unassigned, show run interface, loopback 0. So this guy is not doing a proxy ARP for 1.1.1. It's not giving any reply back for it. Let's do a capture and see what you see there. So I am on R1 again. I'm going to ping. So it is asking for what? 1.1.1. So it is asking whom? Who is the sender here? ARP request 8501. The target MAC address is a broadcast. But I didn't get any reply because I turned off the proxy ARP. So when I go to the interface again, to interface, go to R2, check the configuration show run interface GI 0/0. There is no IP proxy ARP here. Interface 0/0, IP proxy ARP. It's running, just capture is still running there. Going to R1. Ping. Show IP ARP. See, now I can see an ARP entry again. So I can ping it now. Right? Since I have an ARP entry, I can directly see my ICMP packets. So it's always better to disable the proxy ARP. It should not be doing this, right? Show run section route. If you see this, it's 1.1.1 and I'm giving the interface. But instead, if I do config no IP route, if I remove this, if I give IP route with the next hop, that is 002, so do I see that now? It is not telling that it's directly connected. So if I give show IP ARP, show IP ARP, so I don't see this ARP entry for 11001. So how you have to do a proper static route. Right? Or else you will not get an ARP reply back there. So you'll come to know that you can check your proxy ARPs and from the firewall, sorry, from the packet capture, you'll get to know that you don't get an ARP reply back for it. So if I ping 1.1.1, now I can ping it. So this is called as a proxy ARP, how the proxy ARP works. Even though it is not in the same subnet, it's going to send a reply back for this, the stations if sends an ARP requests. So now let's go to the Gradacious ARP.
Okay, just a question. This proxy ARP, when we give the no IP proxy ARP, it works for only that ICMP traffic, right? Only for the ARP traffic it affects.
No,
It
no, no.
no
ARP
other.
is no ARP is different. See, ICMP is just you send 4 packets and you will get a 4 reply back. So proxy ARP is for your complete communication. Whatever the payload you have is going to respond back.
So on the gig interface, like R2 gig 0/0, we have given no IP proxy ARP.
Yeah.
It means it will break all the communication if that command is there.
If it is configured with the wrong gateway. If a station is connected with the wrong gateway, it is not going to send anything reply back. Because it is not going to send an ARP response back for it to route the packets.
No, in this scenario, we have loopback 8 or loopback 1,
Yeah.
right? Loopback 1 is configured. We were not able to ping the loopback 1 when we have that no IP proxy ARP
Yeah.
enabled. So,
Yeah.
it means that is not having any wrong gateway or something, right? It is directly connected interface on R2.
No, I mean, if you give a IP route statement at GA0/1 as a leaving interface, it is telling that 1.1 is directly connected to your network, isn't it? Is it right? From a R1 perspective, the actual interface is configured on R2. That is not directly connected, isn't it? For R2. It is configured on R2, and we are seeing that as a directly connected in R1.
Right.
It is not a directly connected device, right?
Yeah, understood. Like for example, like now we have a proper route in R1, correct?
Yeah.
In an R2, if you give that no IP proxy R, will that communication will drop or it'll?
No, I mean, what you're trying to understand here?
Okay, the no IP proxy R, will it block the complete traffic when that command is applied on the gig 0/0 or the WAN interface? Will that no IP proxy or or it'll affects only any specific ARP traffic only or like something like that? Yeah.
Very simple. See, proxy ARP is something, even though the request is coming from a wrong subnet, if it has to respond only for this its own subnet, right? If a request, if your IP is configured, your interface is configured for 10.0.0.1/24, and if a
Right.
request is coming from 10.0.0.2 and /24 and as a gateway as 10.0.0.1, you have a proper gateway configured on station. Only then the gateway should respond back to it because that is the gateway for that specific subnet. That's how it is configured. But if somebody is coming from 10.0.0.10.1 but with the gateway 10001, it should not send a response back, right? Because it is not the actual gateway for it.
Yeah.
But with proxy R, even though the request is coming from a different subnet, but it is coming to your gateway, it's going to respond back because you have this proxy ARP enabled. So we should not do that. So proxy
Okay.
ARP should be disabled. In
Okay.
my data center, we had this problem. I mean, even the request is coming from a different subnet to the gateway,
Sure.
but
Sure.
still it is responding. So we couldn't figure out the duplicate IPs and wrong subnets there. It has a IP communication again, but it can ping across.
Okay. On the capture, any specific, like we did the capture, right? Is there anything which we can see more about this proxy or
You saw that, right? I mean, it is not for my ARP request, it is not responding anything back, even though if you see in MAC it is there.
okay.
You should see the ARP resolution there.
Okay.
But we didn't define any next hop IP address. We just defined the leaving interface. So it doesn't know that which particular next hop should respond for this ARP request because we didn't define that for that network. Either it should know in its routing table or else you should define your next hop. That's when your packet will go out, will be routed, right? So, but in this case, we didn't give the next hop. Apparently, for this ARP request, nobody is going to send an ARP reply back. So, when you have a scenario like this, you can test your connection. If you're not getting a response back for your, I mean, you're not getting an ARP reply back, then you have to figure out what next hop is this and why I'm not able to get a reply back. So you have to immediately check the next hop, why it is not replying back.
Okay. So now we have to check the next stop device on that connected interface
Yeah,
when we told
correct,
it the
correct,
okay, got that.
correct. Yeah,
Thanks.
no, no problem. So finally, we'll finish the gratuitous ARP. Very hard to pronounce that. That is to find a duplicate IP address in your network, GARP. So we'll do a simulation for gratuitous ARP quickly. So I will connect. We'll do one more scenario tomorrow. For now, I'm going to do one simple configuration VPC. I'm going to connect in the same VLAN 10. So I'm going to give an IP address 10003. Set PC name 10003. 10003. IP question mark. IP 10003 /24. It's 10001. It's my gateway. You show IP. I can see this. Always go unbound support, especially in PNet labs. Most of the time, the VPC won't, even though the port status is up, it will not learn its MAC address. Show MAC address table. So it is connected on GI0/1. I see that GI0/1 here on the switch. Okay, so I'm going to this VPC 10003, ping 10001. I can't ping it, right? Go to the switch. Interface GI0/1. Shut. No shut. So it's my 10003. Its gateways. Okay, let me do a self thing 10003. Ah, I didn't configure the VLANs on it. Interface ZI0/1. Switch port access VLAN 10. So I have assigned this port to VLAN 10 from MAC address. Let me do this duplicate. This is for this PC. This is for this PC here. What is the IP address we gave? Is 10003/24. So I can't see that. One second. Some wrong typo here. Show IP. Ping 10001. I should give no IP domain lookup. Okay. Who's that? I mean, I never did this meeting summary. So I'm going to do no IP domain lookup. So MAC address table GA0/1. Okay. Show run interface GA0/1. Switch port access. Okay, it's white is in a trunk. GA0/1 interface GA default. Let me default this interface. Default interface GI0/1. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 10. Show MAC address table. Interface GA0/1 shut. No shut. Stop this. VPC turn on again. Go to VPC 10.0.0.3, ping 10.0.0.1. Happening with this. GA0/1 is on VLAN 10. That's fine. Ping 10.0.0.1. Can ping it, so no problem with that. Why this VPC is not pinging? No, VPC 10.0. I think okay. After okay, flushed the config. Yeah. IP 10.0.0. 10.0.0.3/24 10.0.0.1. Can ping it now. So now I'm going to assign a duplicate IP address. I'm going to assign the same IP address 10.0.0.2 here. And I'm going to do a capture on this device 10.0.0.3, and I'm going to remove all the other captures. So I can see packets. It assign an IP address. Pass this. Stop this capture. So Cretaceous ARP, in addition, even your PC and sometimes you can see this error message, right? Is being used by, it is giving a MAC address. But here, you can see both the MAC addresses. 6886. Show IP. Is that wrong? Okay. 10.0.0.2. Show IP. 10.0.0.2. Show IP. 10.0.0.2. I think where did we turn on? We changed. Show IP. So go to R1. Show IPR. Is it for, see, the for 10.0.0.2, I got two MAC addresses here. Sorry. 10.0.0.2, I can see only one MAC address. So here in my capture, it is showing 6886 and 685D. So go to here, show MAC address table. So it is 6886, include 68. So 6856 and 685D both are in the same VLAN and both has the same MAC address. So from this switch you can figure out. But if it is a big environment, right? So example, this is very helpful when you do migration something, you want to use the same IP address in your firewalls or maybe your routers. And mostly what we do, we will create one SVI on this interface and you will have this access port for all this devices and will be using the same IP range. So you're going to use an IP address. If your IP communication is not happening, if there is a duplicate IP address, sometimes the communication works. The packet goes because both are using the same IP address. It goes out of the first device. At some time, it may flip to the second device. But with this capture, you can easily figure out that okay, I got this MAC address is being used by same IP address, but it's been used by two MAC addresses. You can also see, irrespective of your MAC address, how many MAC addresses you configured as a duplicate. You will see all this MAC address details using this Gradacious ARP. And if you see this ARP reply, right? So the ARP request is a broadcast, and ARP reply, so you'll get an ARP reply back. So you'll get your source MAC and destination MAC. You can trace both. So who sends an ARP reply? This is 6886 send an ARP reply to the target MAC address. Say, I'm using this IP address. You should not use this. So this is Cretaceous ARP, and as I said, if your topology is bigger and if you have one SVI, and instead of this pieces, you just imagine this as your firewalls or your load balancer. If you're using this as a management IP address, and if you're using a duplicate IP address, you can very easily figure out from this one central. I mean, I would suggest you do a capture on the device where you have configured your SVI for it. And SVI, all this access port goes to your different devices. Do a capture here and you can figure out. Yeah, so any questions on Cretaceous ARP?
Yeah, Praveen. So in the proxy ARP
Yeah, 1 minute, sorry. By mistake, I disabled your permission. Yeah. Tell me.
yeah, okay. So in the proxy ARP, we made the GI01 as the proxy ARP enabled interface and GA00 as the proxy non-proxy ARP interface. Correct, right?
I mean, proxy ARP is enabled by default. We disabled on router 2 interface. That's the only interface we got. We disabled the proxy ARP on the router 2 interface.
For example, if we made proxy ARP enabled on both the routers,
Okay.
so in that case, you said right, 1.1.1 is being given to the R1
Yeah.
as the exit interface has been given. So
Yeah.
if we do the same pattern on R2 also, at the point of time, how the behavior will be?
I mean, pattern is for what route you're talking. I mean, you want to be very specific about the route. On R2, what route you have to do? Do a static route to what? Which network?
Okay. So R2, we have the loopback as 1.1.1, correct, right?
Yeah.
So on
Yeah.
R1 also, on R1, when you made that exit interface as the proxy ARP enabled interface, so at the time we are seeing it is directly connected, right?
Okay.
So if both the interfaces are, yeah.
If proxy ARP is enabled, it is enabled by default. You don't see any wrong behavior in that. Only if you disable a proxy ARP, it's a problem. I mean, if you disable the proxy ARP, then only then you will get to know. I mean, what is the consequences of disabling proxy ARP if it has a wrong destination, or maybe on R1 perspective, if you give show IP ARP, it should not show the ARP detail for 1.1.1 because that is not directly connected to me. Either I don't own that subnet configured anywhere on my router, but still it is showing. That is because of a proxy ARP enabled on R2. You got that first?
Yeah, that I got. If the same ARP entry is getting resolved on both the routers, is there any chance of duplication at the point of time? I mean, Cretaceous ARP.
No, Cretaceous ARP is different. Cretaceous ARP is to find the duplicate IP address.
Duplicate, correct.
Proxy ARP is, even though I am not the ARP responder for this particular request, it is still sending an ARP response back. That is proxy ARP.
Right. At that point of time, there is no conflict, right? And there is no chance of
No,
Cretaceous.
actually, Cretaceous ARP is to find a duplicate IP address. Proxy ARP, it should not do a resolution for it because he is not the gateway for that particular request, right? It should not do that.
Right.
It is recommended to disable the proxy ARP. Except as call other OEMs disable by default. Maybe I don't know that. So it is not good to have your proxy ARP enabled in your network. If you enabled it, then using the capture as I shown you, you can figure out. You will not get an ARP response back, even though you have a route.
Praveen, sometime we have to enable.
Maybe in
During
the network standpoint, no. Maybe in firewalls, maybe they do it for some kind of natting, is it?
yes, for the netting, we
Yeah.
have to enable the proxy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know the logic behind that. But yeah, I have seen people they enable the proxy ARP in ASAs.
And netting as well as on the load balancers as well.
Okay.
We can enable the proxy. Yeah.
Okay. And especially if you're working for the data center devices, we disable it. I mean, we don't have it because we had some problem with that. Maybe this few exceptions for firewalls and load balancers.
Even with the routers as well,
Mm-hmm.
like if we are doing the netting on the router, we
Yeah,
enable,
yeah,
but
yeah,
only for the specific IPs. Like let's suppose if I'm using one public IP, if I'm
yeah,
not the netting for specific one IP, I'm
yeah, yeah. That
proxy.
particular interface we have to enable it. Yeah, good point. Yeah. So normal for your interview and routing, it is not needed.
Correct.
Yeah, you got it.
Copy. Yeah,
Copy
I got
Krishnan.
that. When it comes to switching, yeah, as you said, it's correct. Actually, we saw proxy ARP on the load balancer pairing with external firewall. So at
Mm.
that point, I'm unable to conclude. But yeah, I will do some some
Red,
research on this, and I'll come back.
was it Redware?
No, it's actually F5 pairing with external checkpoint in my previous organization.
Redware
So
usually fail.
there I have saw this proxy ARP. Thank you.
But I would suggest play with this. I mean, take this simple scenarios, play with it. So when you see the lab, somebody doing it, you will get 50-60%. But when you actually do it, you'll get more information. You'll get complete understanding. Even smaller topologies are fine, but understanding the concept is important. So okay, any other questions, guys?
So this gracious up is initiated by which device when
Whenever gracious up, if you see the output, still I'm sharing my screen, right?
yep.
The gracious ARP, whenever you have that question, who initiated it, you can always go ahead and check your sender MAC, sender IP. So it's done by 10.0.0.2, but the MAC address is 685D. So ARP reply, who's doing an ARP reply? In ARP reply, you see the sender MAC address is 6886. This is
Okay.
685D. So the ARP reply is this guy sent. Always you can go and check your sender MAC address on both your ARP request and ARP reply. You will come to know who sent a reply back for it.
Okay. So this gracious up is to detect only the duplicate IP. Like even if there is no duplicate IP, will this gracious up generated, or it's only
I think in theory they say when the device is back online, it will send a British ARP saying that this is my IP address. I think so. If it comes back online, it does send a British ARP.
okay? Normally, what I read is like it does the first check with gracious up and see if there is no duplicate IP in the network, and then assigns IP. So then it means that the gracious ARP is generated whenever we try to assign IP to the device. So just want to understand that part.
I think that once the device is assigned with an IP address, it's coming online for the first time. It does a British ARP, I believe. And
Okay,
whenever there is a duplicate IP address, I think again it will do a British ARP stating that this is my IP address. Nobody should use it.
okay, okay.
In two cases, I think it should come. But you forget about theory. Coming to troubleshooting, you just see who is sending this and how I can find the duplicate IP address.
Okay, fine.
And theory, I think once it is back online, it will send. And also, when there is a duplicate IP address in the same subnet, it's going to happen. And you can see this only on the same broadcast domain, not anywhere else.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there was one interview question, like I've been asked
What is
who
the
generates
question?
who generates the Gracious harp?
I think every host in a network generates an Gracious harp.
Gracious harp.
Gracious harp. That's very
Okay.
hard to pronounce. Every device comes with the first time when you assign an IP address to it, it sends a Gracious harp.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
And along with that, yeah, you can use it to find the duplicate IP address. That's the use of it.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
No problem.
So, Praveen, every host in the broadcast domain will generate the Gracious harp, right?
Every
Host, like any
okay.
router with a device.
A router also, yes, correct. Sometimes if you assign a duplicate IP address in the router interfaces, yeah, still it sends a Gracious harp. Because in your CLI also sometimes you will see the duplicate IP addresses, right? The CLI.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. We can wrap up this call. Okay, so if there is any no questions, then we will meet in the next class.
One question. For the lab, do
Yeah.
we also get any documentation, like how like any task what we need to do in the lab, or
Sorry, what?
or just we can follow that what you are teaching here, that during the lab that we can do by own?
The lab files, I mean the config files, I will export and give it to you. And apart from that, it is just a recording and the concepts you have to watch
we can
and
try.
do it.
Okay. Okay, sure. No. Yeah.
Is it somebody else that they are giving along with that? What documents they'll give?
So you're asking,
No. I mean, apart from this, is there some other vendors they are giving additional documents? Apart from, I think your configuration files and recording would help you, right, to build a lab.
yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there are like captures, PCAPs are available over the internet.
Okay. I will also give the captures what I have. I have captures for a few scenarios. I will share my captures and document, and then this config file. That's something I usually give.
Correct.
So if you do it without configuration file, that will be more interesting. If you ask me, you will struggle sometimes, and you'll get to know what is wrong. Sometimes you forget to enable the interface. Somebody he told, right, Balsan, there is like that. It's a learning. If you are not feeling lazy to build a lab, it is always good to start from the scratch every time. Every time you will face small problems, but that's actually good for learning. That's my suggestion. You can again use the template files or the config files right away. You can export and do. But if you try like that, you will troubleshoot better.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll give the lab files and maybe middle of upcoming week I'll give. Okay, so if there is any questions, we can wrap up this call. So everybody is good? Everybody understood what we discussed today? Okay. Fine. Thank you then. We'll see you in the next class. Bye, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye,
Thank you.
Pradeep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.